Jim McDonough is joining me from Veterans Cleaning Solutions. Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much. Doing well, thanks.
Yeah, you are a resident cleaner from the outside in because you clean on the outside and on the inside of the home. And this question comes up all the time. It's a question about grout lines in the kitchen. Why are my grout lines dirty? Why is it hard to get them clean? Why are they black?
Okay, very good. So being here in Southern Alabama, we have a lot of red clay. You're going to see this in a lot of states where you've got your soil colors are other than that deep, rich black. Now, if you're in South Dakota, something like that, North Dakota, that soil outside, it's just going to be black, black. That's good earth. But down here in Southern Alabama, we have a lot of red clay, red Alabama clay. And so if our grout lines were dirty, they would be red. And we see this
Mm.
where we have entrances where our dogs and things like that come in from the outside by the back door, or they're coming in through the kitchen. But most of the time, we have these real heavy, thick grout lines that are black. And you're going to see this in restaurants. You're going to see it in commercial facilities. Anytime that you probably look at grout after listening to this, you're going to go, oh, now I know what that is. And what that is it's a combination of magma. It's spores of all different types of decomposers. It's a little bit of soil, but most of the time, it's all these decomposers that are on the outside of your home or outside of the walkways in a business situation where the sidewalks are black and dirty. And that black that's on those sidewalks that's going to be magma. It could also be spores from lichen. It could be all kinds of different items that are out there, and they're spores. And what they are is they're tracked in on our feet. Then they're set up on the tile, and when we mop, our mop picks them up, puts them into water in the suspension, and then the water lays down in the grout lines because that's the low spot. Well, when the water evaporates off, all that material settles down into the grout, and it becomes very hard to get out. I love people who are industrious that go on the internet and get a little recipe on how they're going to clean their grout lines, but they call us after they do about 4 grout lines, 1 square, and they're like, this is a lot of work. It's an enormous amount of work. But really what we got to understand is those are cooking oils and greases that are in there combined with bacteria. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, just look at your grout, look at the grout lines in your kitchen. These are the areas that are by your stove, they're by your refrigerator, they're by your sink, and they're near the dishwasher. Okay. And so these are the areas where they're going to be, that's where the grout lines are going to be the darkest. Look at the back door coming in from either the garage or coming in the home, if that's there as well, because that's where it's going to start. And then I want you to look in your pantry. The pantry is going to be where it's nice and clean. That's going to give you an idea of what the grout lines should look like when they're clean. And so cleaning your grout lines every 2 to 3 years will keep the home clean and pristine. It'll add to the indoor air quality. It'll keep it high. And this is one area that is a food prep room where we want to have less contamination and things like that. You know, if you drop something on your floor, would you 5-second rule what hit the ground? All right. So those are some things that we look at. Clean and pristine, just making it so these contaminants that are coming from outside, and then we say this all the time, is cleaning the outside of your home will keep your inside cleaner, healthier, longer.
Yeah. It's one of those things that creep up on us, and sometimes we don't notice the gradual change. It's kind of like as we get older too, we look at a picture from 10 years ago and we're like, I look different in the mirror today than because we kind of forget, or when, our kids are growing up, the neighbor says, boy, little Jimmy really got tall. I'm like, I haven't noticed that. It's just a gradual thing. And so sometimes we'll move a piece of furniture, or, maybe we had to move an appliance away and it's like different underneath there. The tile and the grout look like they were just installed. So it creeps up on us over time. And these things need to be maintained on a regular basis, right, Jim?
Absolutely. So if you got traffic lanes on your grout and tile, you're going to have traffic lanes on your carpets, your area rugs, and just traffic lanes in general from fading, abrasion, and wear. But then you start putting all these soils on there, all the dirt, all the bacteria. And sand is one of the most insidious things for your flooring surfaces, as they have 27, an average grain of sand has 27 cutting edges on it. There's a lot of damage. And then you put all that bacteria that's in there. And when you see the bacteria on the outside of your home and you look at that and you look at the traffic patterns, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's all brought in from the outside, the bacteria, the sand, the soils. You bring it in, dad brings it in, the dogs bring it in, kids bring it in, moms, we're here to make your life easier.
Yeah, and it's easy to get a hold of Jim and his team. All of Jim's information is located in the description of this podcast. Simple links. Call them up. They'll talk to you over the phone, and they'll also come out and take a look at your project. Jim, thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks for having me.